Hi, I'm Kevin Hill, and today we're going to do a painting that has a lot of sunlight and mist. And of course, if you're enjoying these and you want to see more, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. All right, let's get started. We'll start off today here with our little 2-inch brush, some white and yellow. And of course, I put our clear gel and white on the top of the sky here. Well, the whole sky, the top of the canvas, which is the sky. Of course, if you're interested in that clear gel stuff or any of the other paints and brushes that I use, you can go to the website and you can see all that good stuff there. I like the clear gel because it almost feels sticky to me. It's not like your traditional linseed oil medium. It's much stickier than that. It comes in a little tube instead of a jar, so that kind of gives you an idea of what the consistency is like. Right, look at that little glow. This is going to be a sunlit painting today. A lot of mist. Now I've got a color that's really almost identical to all the kind of colors we got going on here. I was kind of looking up here and, you know, whatever. It's just mud on the palette at this point. I grabbed it and here it goes. As you can see, I did do a basic little sketch. And that's really nice. Helps to kind of keep us on track, figure out where we're going. And I want an interesting background. I want an interesting composition too. So, because we don't have a whole lot of stuff going on in this painting. So we really want to make sure that we get some of this actually pretty interesting. I don't even know. Do you think these are trees? I guess these could be trees. These are kind of whatever you want them to be. Yeah, that's it. I just want stuff going on. Throw them in very carefully. And then you can take here, what do we got going here? Maybe our 2-inch brush. And I'm just going to feather them into the background to create more of a misty look. And I'll do this a couple times. It helps to make everything look like it's kind of washed out by the sun. I'll start adding some real color to it shortly. Now I'm just finishing up here, setting down some color. So literally what I'm doing is setting color down on the canvas. And it's been a while since we've done this together. So let's go ahead and let me grab a brush. I guess this one will do. And let's just start right here in the background and start mushing all these colors together. See that? So what I do is I build little, especially like look right here. See there's some blue, some yellow, some red, brown. So I build little variations in the underpainting. Of course we're going to come back and highlight this. But this just gets us a little bit more interest to the underpainting. People will see colors in our painting that we did not have to worry about. They just sort of get thrown in and then there they are. I'm going to shrink this creek. I don't want this creek near that large. Yeah, there we go. That's better. You want them a little smaller than you want them because they tend to grow when you go to put the highlights and all the color in. There we go. I'm finishing up, kind of wiping this area down with a paper towel. You guys know why I do that. It removes the loose oil paint on top. Whatever's left is well stuck into the canvas. This is the way that you get a lot of extra detail. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and take our filbert brush and right about here, let's stick in a tree. And this tree is going to be kind of the first of many. It's going to help build out our forest. I actually like that angle to it. I think that's kind of nice. So let's make that maybe a little better. Cool, looks good. Now let's do another one right back here that kind of goes up like this. Nice. See, they're pretty warm today. See that warm cast that they have? And we'll do more trees and stuff, but let me just get a couple more limb action going. Great. And then I'm being loose today, in case you haven't noticed. And then let's drop in what feels like some darker, I don't know, low-lying bushes or stuff, maybe small trees, whatever. Let's drop that whatever stuff right here. Now let's go ahead and put leaves on the rest of these trees up here. It's really going to be done very similarly over there. In fact, over there, what I did after I was finished, the reason it looks a little texturized is I actually took a paper towel and kind of smushed it a little. You just push the paper towel and you give it a little rotate. You don't want to smush it like, you know, what is this? You know, brush it. You don't want to brush it because what that'll do is it'll make it blurry. What you want to do is you want to come in and just press it and kind of give it a quick rotation. And what that does again is removes the loose oil sitting on the top because we don't want that loose oil there. It just causes problems later. I'm going to leave a lot of beautiful open and airy textures because when I go to do that technique again where I take off the paint, you'll end up losing some of this openness, just part of the game. That looks good. So leave it a little more open than you would actually like it. we go. This is good. And I know you're wondering, you see, I right down here, I started to do the grass and I thought, yeah, let's wait. Let's get all the trees in. And then let's highlight because I want these beautiful cast shadows. And I think highlighting, if we hit the trees, so what? Tree trunks are easy to paint in, super easy. So I'd rather get the shadows right the first time. Because once you get a lot of highlight down on the grass, it's generally very difficult to paint back over that. It gets kind of slippery. All right, this is looking good. I'm just gonna continue this whole deal to all these little trees. Yeah. Let me show you that. Let me show you the paper towel trick, just for fun. And I don't normally do this, but I do want a really soft look and I want a lot of highlights, so that's why I'm doing this. I don't usually do this when I paint trees, but hey, gotta do something different every once in a while. See how I just come in and I touch it and I give it a little spin. And I do it kind of quickly. It removes that loose oil floating on top. That's all I did over there. You'll end up picking up a little tree color, and that's okay. Make sure that you don't let your tree grow too big. Now I'm just finishing up the shape of these trees. You see the paper towel kind of damaged some of the shape, kind of mushy. So I'm kind of unmushying it. There we go. And it doesn't take a whole lot, and I just tap very softly to actually get some texture. I like that texture on the end, right up on those leaves. That looks good. I think that helps. Makes them look more foreground-like. Yeah. All right, so now that's probably good. Let me get a color. Wipe that brush out and grab some yellow. Let me show you my palette. Some yellow and white. Very, very bright, because now we're going to paint in our sunlight. You guys ready for this? Remember, we wiped this area with a paper towel, so we are set to go. Lots of layers of paint today. That's why we're being kind of careful. Lots of different color changes, and I want a lot of bright areas. A little more light color there. Oh yeah, that's it. Look at that go. That is nice. Come on, you gotta have fun with this. This is good stuff. Yes, lots of shadows though. I want you guys to think more about the shadows than the highlight when you guys go to do this painting. Yes. This is a lesson on shadows and how light plays in the painting. You'll learn a lot from doing stuff like this. And if you guys want full-length instruction on techniques, actually, go check out all of our wonderful technique series where you can learn just how to paint a tree or a rock or even highlights, actually. Now I'm just finishing up here with our water area. See, I started with a nice light color and then wandered down to kind of a sandy color. That's nice. It gives us a little river there. Nothing too important. It's just kind of part of the painting. Not a very big part, at least. All right up here, I've got some dark, big, really massive tree trunk. Oh, this thing's crazy. Look how thick this is. This is important. You want a lot of contrast. Now we're going to go ahead and tap on some highlight. As you can see, I put leaves on the same old way, and I did make sure to dab everything with a paper towel. I came back and I sort of fixed it, where it got mushy. Now, because we did all that prep work, we're going to finally start to see some of the results. We're going to really get some bright highlight. Normally, maybe you glop it on thick and really who cares. But today I want a lot of different colors and I want a lot of beautiful, bright highlights because of the light. We got a lot of light in this painting. And the only way you'll get that is to be a little more careful with your underpainting. There, I'm just sneaking a little highlight on. I love it. I absolutely love stuff like this. I like that. That's just creating a nice effect. And then as we come over, maybe up in here, there's some highlight. Kind of think about your shape of the limbs and all that good stuff. As we go back into the tree though, I want to keep this area kind of dark because we need some dark in this painting. Not everything can be sunlit. If everything's sunlit, then it goes kind of flat and the whole thing doesn't look like it has got any light in it at all. It just looks overexposed. So let's not do that. Yeah, and then we can always come back with a detail round and put those nice big, those big leaves in, which make it look even closer. I think we should do that to this close tree. That's the one I'm working on right now, is the close tree. Although if they kind of mush together, who cares? Trees do that in nature. They mush together. When you look at them, you can't really tell exactly which tree belongs to which leaf belongs to which tree, right? Hey, you guys know what I mean. Up here, same thing. Maybe it starts to get just a little softer. Not quite as bright. And you're not obligated to put these everywhere that you've got dark. You can leave some areas dark, or you can put some highlights. Watch this. Highlights right out over where there was no shadow. You can do that, it doesn't matter. Now with almost pure white, I'm going to add on just a few very much sunlit leaves here on the edge of the shapes, the little limb shapes. I'm using just pretty much white because I'm anticipating it mixing a little, and I want it to be still very bright after it's done mixing. So there you go. So up here it'll be more brown. You know, other areas like right over here it may be more green. And that's okay with me. There. See how just a few of these larger shapes helps the filbert brush work look more like larger leaves? See, you don't do it everywhere. There's still mostly filbert brush tapping, which is faster. And just a few of these on the ends kind of helps to make it look like the whole tree is made up of these leaves. It's really kind of a cool effect, a good shortcut for you. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Now I'm just finishing, kind of putting in some larger grass just with a fan brush. Pretty easy because we want a lot of depth in our grass. And also the other thing I did was right over here, you see some of these angles, I brought them back up so that we kind of have a little bit of movement but not too much down, because the water has to be at the lowest point, and it was turning out to be kind of at the second lowest point, so we raised this area over there just to compensate. It's one of those kind of things you just have to do whether you want to or not. Otherwise your painting will just never ever work. It'll be so annoying. You always look at it and think, ugh, the water's not in the right spot. So just do yourself a big favor and watch for those things as you paint. I do it. I mean, I'm always checking in my mind the rules of nature, just like shadows, and shadows are actually, sometimes you can kind of get away with them, but stuff like perspective and definitely water going to the lowest point, stuff like that. Just, you got to do it. Part of nature. And if you're going to paint it, you just have to go with it. So there you go. That's my 2 cents. And that's what I did over there. It was an easy fix though. And I'm just adding a little bit of highlight, too much highlight, and it'll look like it's running a little too fast. This isn't exactly a fast-moving river. This is more like a gentle creek. Next, I'm going to go ahead and highlight our large tree and all the other trees as well. Nice. You see, I've got my brush upside down because you want to either come in like that, nice and flat, or just flip it upside down, because it layers the paint on way thicker than it would if you held it like a pencil going straight in. And it makes sense. You got more surface area, and it's a lot softer. The softer the brush, the less it cuts, the brighter the paint comes off. Nice, that looks good. And this is helpful because we want a nice bright highlight out here. And maybe right here. And we've got some dark paint down that we're trying to cover, so it's helpful for those reasons. Just little touches up in there. You don't want too much because that's covered by leaves. And then, you know, you take your little darker color and you just come in and you do a couple more strokes. I don't want a whole lot because that might kind of wreck the whole feeling of this area. And I want this dark in here. But just this way it's not flat, you know. We're not too interested in a flat painting. So this helps. Now, one of the last things that we're going to do up here today is just drop in some tree branches. It's been a long day, I guess. Couldn't even think of the word tree branches off the top of my head. That's okay. Nice, look at that. See how they just go in? I always like to, and I didn't always do this, but now I always like to pick a color that's way lighter than you would normally want, because it doesn't mix at all. And so, you know, you would think, well, I'll reach for black to do my tree limbs. And they ended up kind of looking too harsh. So I think this is a good thing to do. Make them nice and light. And then they come off just about right. This color's quite a bit lighter than you would think. Of course, you can see it there. Let's see, maybe I'll just do a couple in the background. Not too many. And then maybe black on this tree up here, just to bring it forward so, you know, at least we see something kind of coming forward in color, right? Darker things in the foreground, lighter things in the background. There we go. Look at that, come right off. That's great. This helps your painting look complete and a little bit more detailed than it was. All right, well, I think we're done. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Don't forget to check out our website, DVDs, and brush line. Thanks for watching.